Alexander Cole was a man who once had everything: an empire of luxury hotels, a mansion overlooking the ocean, and most importantly, a loving wife named Emma who was his whole world. But fate was cruel, and when pregnancy complications took Emma away just after she brought their triplet sons into the world, Alexander's heart shattered into pieces that wealth could never fix. He buried himself in work, leaving the raising of his babies to nannies who came and went, unable to withstand the demands of caring for 3 infants while dealing with a grieving father who was barely present. But loneliness does strange things to a heart, and in his vulnerability Alexander met a stunning socialite named Vanessa. Elegant, charming, and skilled at saying all the right things, she swept into his life promising a fresh start. Everyone around Alexander believed she only wanted his money, but he was too blinded by desperation to listen, except for one person, the new maid, Sophia. She was compassionate, patient, and loved those babies like they were her own. She had seen gold diggers before, and Vanessa's perfect act didn't fool her. But she kept her suspicions to herself, focusing on the triplets, Noah, Liam, and Aiden, who smiled brightest when she held them. One evening, Alexander overheard Vanessa on a call, mocking his children for being 3 little burdens, and declaring she would send them to a boarding school the moment the rings were exchanged. The words stabbed him like knives, but instead of confronting her, he formed a plan. He pretended to leave for a week-long business trip, secretly installing cameras and arranging to stay in a hidden room inside a walk-in closet near the nursery. He needed to know the truth, whether Vanessa's affection for his boys was real or a mask she wore only in his presence. The moment he closed the front door, Vanessa's smile melted away like melted plastic. She snapped her fingers at Sophia, ordering her to keep the babies quiet and out of sight because she was inviting her wealthy friends for a grown-up celebration. The triplets, sensing the harsh energy, began to cry, but Vanessa only rolled her eyes, calling them noisy little creatures. She shoved Sophia toward the nursery, warning her to keep them locked inside. From the hidden space, Alexander clenched his fist, fighting the urge to storm out, but he forced himself to keep watching. The next morning, Vanessa strutted into the nursery, annoyed at the crying babies who wanted their bottles. She snatched one bottle from Sophia and shoved it at Aiden carelessly, spilling milk over his tiny shirt. "Why did Emma have to give him so much?" she muttered bitterly, unaware that Alexander's camera was recording every second. When the babies continued crying, Vanessa screamed, "Stop it," shaking Noah's crib aggressively, until Sophia rushed forward, her voice calm but firm, telling Vanessa to step back. Vanessa hissed, "Don't you dare tell me what to do. These things need discipline." Sophia's blood ran cold. Things. They were innocent babies. She lifted the frightened triplets into her arms, holding them close, whispering that she was there, that mommy was watching from heaven and daddy loved them more than anything. Later that day, Vanessa hosted her glamorous party, bragging about her upcoming marriage into one of the richest families in the country. When guests asked about the children, she laughed and said Alexander planned to give them to relatives overseas because he doesn't want the hassle. The room roared with amusement, except Sophia, who watched in disbelief. As the babies cried again upstairs, Vanessa angrily excused herself, storming toward the nursery to silence them. She grabbed the stroller roughly and yelled at Sophia to stop spoiling them. The babies trembled, tears streaming down round cheeks, but Vanessa showed no hint of care. That was the final straw. Sophia stepped in front of the stroller, her voice shaking but strong. "You are not going to hurt them." Vanessa scoffed. "Who do you think you are? I'll have you fired." And that was the moment Alexander stepped out of the hidden room, his face pale with fury, every secret act of cruelty burned into his heart. "No," his voice thundered, startling everyone. "You are fired." Vanessa's confident smirk disappeared as he played the recordings on his phone, the party mockery, the threats, the cruelty. "I loved you," Alexander whispered, heartbreak and rage battling in his eyes, "but you used me and you despised my sons." Vanessa tried to blame Sophia, tried to twist the story, but Alexander ignored her completely as security escorted her away. The babies cried again, not in fear now but needing comfort. Alexander finally rushed to them, holding all three as tears ran down his cheeks. "Daddy's here. I'm so sorry. I should have protected you." Sophia stood back, her heart melting as she saw the grieving father finally embracing the sons he had been afraid to love fully since Emma's death. Alexander turned to her with gratitude so deep it was hard to express. "You are the only one who truly cared for them. Please, stay. Help me raise them. Help me be the father they deserve." Sophia nodded, tears shining in her eyes, promising that she would do anything to keep those boys safe and loved. From that day forward, Alexander didn't hide from his children, didn't let money blind him to real love, and never again underestimated the people who stood by his side without asking for anything in return. The mansion felt warm again, filled with baby laughter, bedtime stories, and a father learning how to live and love after tragedy. And as he tucked the triplets into bed with Sophia smiling proudly nearby, Alexander looked up toward the sky, whispering to Emma, "We're going to be okay." Dear viewers, if you want to see more powerful emotional stories like this one, stories that touch hearts and remind us of the true meaning of love and family, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment for the next episode. Your support means everything, and together, we'll continue creating stories that inspire and move the world.